The most terrifying things in the deep sea. 70% of this planet is ocean, and below 1,000 meters, you're in a place scientists call the midnight zone. Permanent darkness, crushing pressure, and creatures so alien that we've found more in the last 20 years than in all of human history before it. We're counting down the most genuinely terrifying things actually living down there. Number 10. The goblin shark's face. The goblin shark looks like a normal, if ugly, deep-sea shark. Until it feeds. Its jaw doesn't just open. It detaches and shoots forward out of its skull on a sling of skin and cartilage, snapping shut around its prey in a fraction of a second, then retracting back into place. Researchers call this slingshot feeding, and it's one of the fastest jaw strikes in the animal kingdom. It's been swimming around, mostly unchanged, for over 100 million years, meaning it was already doing this before most dinosaurs existed. Number 9. The giant isopod. Picture a woodlouse from your garden. Now imagine it the size of a house cat, living 2,000 meters down, built to survive for years without eating. Giant isopods are scavengers that can go over 4 years between meals by slowing their metabolism to a crawl, then gorging so violently when food appears that some specimens have been found unable to move afterward, body swollen past its own exoskeleton. It's not a monster by design. It's just an ordinary bug scaled up by deep-sea gigantism, the same pressure and cold phenomenon that makes deep-sea creatures grow far larger than their shallow water relatives. Number 8. The vampire squid. Despite the name, the vampire squid doesn't hunt or drink blood. Its real defense is stranger. When threatened, it can turn itself almost entirely inside out, flipping its arms up and over its body to expose rows of spiked, fleshy projections, transforming from a soft squid into something resembling a glowing pineapple of spines. It lives in the oxygen minimum zone, a layer of ocean so depleted of breathable water that almost nothing else can survive there long term. It has simply opted out of the predator-prey arms race by living somewhere nothing wants to follow it. Number 7. The frilled shark. This is a living fossil in the most literal sense, a species so ancient, its body plan barely resembles a modern shark at all. It has around 300 needle-like teeth, arranged in 25 rows, designed to snag soft-bodied prey like squid, and never let go. Frilled sharks are rarely seen alive because they live so deep. Most human encounters have come from sharks that wandered into shallow water dying or already dead, which has only fed the legend that they don't belong on the same planet as us. Number 6. Bioluminescent ambush, the anglerfish. You already know the lure. What most people don't know is what happens after mating. Male anglerfish are a fraction of the female's size, and in several species, the male doesn't just find a mate, he bites onto her, and over time his body literally fuses into hers, their bloodstreams merging, until he becomes a permanent, parasitic appendage, alive only to provide sperm on demand. Some females have been found with multiple fused males attached at once. It's one of the strangest reproductive strategies in the entire animal kingdom, and it evolved specifically because finding a mate in total darkness, across vast empty distances, is close to impossible otherwise. Number 5. The fish that eat light. In 2018, researchers pulled a fish on deck under bright lights and watched it functionally disappear, not swim away, just vanish, sitting there in plain sight. Certain deep-sea fish, including some anglerfish relatives, have skin that absorbs over 99.5% of light that hits it, built from microscopic pigment structures that trap light and bounce it to death inside the skin rather than reflecting it back. It's the same principle behind vantablack, one of the darkest man-made materials ever engineered, except evolution built it first, into a living animal under crushing pressure with nothing but skin. And we're only halfway through. If your skin is already crawling, subscribe now, because the next 4 are worse, and number 1 is something most people have never even heard of. Number 4. The colossal squid's eyes. The colossal squid has the largest eyes of any animal known to science, up to 11 inches across, roughly the size of a basketball. Scientists believe these massive eyes evolved specifically to detect the faint glow of bioluminescent light from sperm whales, its only natural predator, approaching from far away in total darkness. Living almost 2 kilometers down, it's been caught on camera alive only a handful of times in recorded history, meaning an animal the size of a small car has spent its entire existence almost completely unseen by humans. Number 3. Pressure itself. Forget the animals for a second. The ocean itself is the threat. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, Nearly 11 kilometers down, the pressure exceeds 8 tons per square inch, equivalent to one person trying to support the weight of 50 jumbo jets stacked directly on top of them. At that depth, anything without specific pressure-resistant biology would be crushed instantly. Submersibles built to survive it have hulls reinforced specifically for this single dive, and the few humans who've made the trip describe the descent as one of the most disorienting experiences a person can undergo. Number 2. The siphonophore. This isn't one animal, it's thousands. A siphonophore is a colony of genetically identical, specialized organisms that function as a single creature, some stretching over 45 meters long, longer than a blue whale, making it potentially the longest animal on Earth. One section handles hunting, another digestion, another reproduction. None of them could survive alone, yet together they form something that drifts through the dark like a glowing, impossibly long net, designed for ambushing whatever swims into it. Number 1. How little we've actually seen. Here's the most terrifying fact of all, and it isn't a creature. We have mapped more of the surface of Mars than we have of our own ocean floor. Less than 5% of the deep sea has ever been directly observed by humans. Every single expedition into these depths in the last decade has returned with species entirely new to science. Everything on this list, the lights, the jaws, the pressure, the things that eat light itself, all of it was found by accident, in a tiny fraction of a habitat covering most of our planet. The real question isn't what's down there, it's what we haven't found yet.